Good morning, guys. Good morning. Today we are in a new video. We are not in a trade breakdown, as you can see from the title, but we will look to my Exochart workspace. So I will show you what I use, how I use it, and yeah, how it works basically. So yeah, one guy from in the section comment asked for this type of video, so I'm happy to realize it. Yeah, we are here recording it. So let's start. Let's open Exochart here. Yeah, yes, you should see. Yeah. So starting from the top left. Now with this button over here, I can expand. You see here. So here we have the TPO. I will make a video on the TPO because a really powerful tool, I think, in my opinion, based on my statistics also. I use it in two ways. The first one is the daily TPO. First of all, we have to say what is TPO. TPO is time price opportunity, and is basically a volume profile that is developing with time and not with volume. So if you with the volume profile, we have based on where is volume, you create a bigger space in the volume profile in the profile. Here based on where the price spend more time. So if we have the price ranging more here, there will be a bigger zone in this part of the profile. Okay. Also, if maybe the bigger most volume of that day was down there, as you can see, generally the POC of the TPO is the same of the POC of the volume profile. A lot of time, like today. Today we have the POC that is no the POC. Today we have two POC here. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. 8 blocks here, 8 blocks here, and this is the two POC of the TPO. Instead here we have the POC of volume profile. You see, it's not always the same. Can be like here, almost the same area, but also cannot. So yesterday, for example, here we have the POC of the TPO here and the POC of the volume profile here. You see, so they can mismatch. It's not they're not the same. How I use it? I use basically for two things. The first is poor low, poor high. So when you see a low or a poor low or poor high, when we have two blocks in the low, for example, I remember a few the year, you see, poor high, the price then retraces back, pulls up and take the poor high. It's likely that the poor high or poor low are taken before 3 days in the 3 days after. Also here for example is a poor low that has not been taken. 1, 2, 3 today. If we don't take this poor low today, are really unlikely. This poor low won't have a lot of chance to be taken in the future. So this is the first thing that I use. The second that I personally use is when we see a big tail. For example, here, look, we have a big tail. A tail is when you have a lot of blocks, single print blocks. So just one block, one for a lot of consecutive move. Is when we see a week. For example, here was 21. 21 here. This is the tail. You see, basically when we see a tail, is likely that we go at least fill the 50% and then going up. Yeah, so we see that I use these two things. You can have more info because if we go here, TPO, we can have also the single print. What is single print? I can activate it. Single print basically is when let me put also see tail, show single print, or by you see here appears when you have more than minimum 3 blocks. That is really not is not a lot. I would say at least 10. When we have 10 blocks in a row, it will show us the tail. buy tail if it's in the low, sell tail if it's in the high of the TPO. Yeah, this is the tail. If and then for the for the single print, as you can see here, when you have it's basically a fair value gap. You know, if you know a bit of technical analysis, it's a fair value gap. So for example, here this is on the 50-minute. I used 30-minute in the TPO. So for example, that is a single print. You know, or this is a single print. Okay, so all these type of things are called a single print. That here is a big single print. Generally, the most attractive zone is the low part of the single print. So the low of the fair value gap, the high, and the 50%. That is the one that give more strength based on my statistics. Yeah, so this is a TPO. How I use it? Okay, so it gives me a bit of narrative when I start trading. I like to have a narrative when I start trading. For example, I see that, for example, if today we have a poor high on the top, for example, as you can see here in the custom sessions, we have a poor high. So in my mind, I think, okay, if we retrace, I want to look for a zone to a point of interest to look, then to reverse my position and go long and take this high. Okay. So we have also other things really interesting. That is the custom session. I've already talked about it, so I will not spend a lot of time. I look here for poor low, poor high. Okay. With custom session, my custom sessions are in UTC +2 time. Okay, so we have Sydney for me because I splitted not from regular time but based on the volume that they have. So we have from the 22 p.m. of the previous day to the 2 a.m. is Sydney. 2 a.m., 7 a.m. is Asia. 7 a.m., 13 p.m. is London, and then 13:22 p.m. is New York. And I look here basically for a poor low, poor high, and this level that are the raw POC. What is raw POC? Basically, you can go here, go in POC if you have the Exochart. I don't know if in any other software you can use that, and then you can use raw POC tick one. Basically, the POC is plotted in your chart in the bar where on the one here is written here. ROPOC always use tick one highest volume node and applies to chart, markets and DOM profile. So basically use one tick. Here, for example, generally is 50, and the divides all the bar, and the tick that has more volume appears this line. Okay, really powerful tool. I really like this to intraday, to look for levels intraday, and I use it a lot for Confluence with other DOM to create my point of interest. So we have said we've seen TPO daily, TPO custom sessions. Then we go in this part in the core of my analysis when it comes to the trigger, to the entry. So we have the footprint. I have footprint on 15 minutes and 5 minutes. Basically, they are the same. Okay, nothing changed here. Yeah, nothing changed. Maybe I think, yeah, I don't have imbalances, but it's the same. If you want something more accurate on a specific tool, for example, open interest D bars, T size, footprint, view up, I don't know, imbalance, net long, net short, let me know. Or a specific video on TPO when I go, and if maybe I show you more example, let me know in the comments. Yeah, so basically what we have here, we have a tool that I use to look for trigger. This is basically the zone where I look for trigger. For example, let's assume that the price is coming down here. Okay, price coming down. Here we have an imbalance. Here I would start to look at footprint and look for a potential sign of strength of the price. For example, I use basically I want to see a high volume, high liquidation. Where I see that, I see here high volume, the first block here, high volume. So when the color becomes more intense. I see high volume, high liquidation, or this one. Okay, I want to see a spike of open interest. Open interest spike. Let me see if I can find for you a spike of the open interest. Spike of open interest. No, not yes, Saturday. No. Let me see if I can find something. I'm not finding right now, but basically I want to see open interest during when the candle is developing, going up and then down, you know, creating a big spike. Something like this. You see it? You see this? Okay. This candle, something like this. Okay. A big difference between delta max and delta min. For example, here is quite easy to see. For example, here clearly we can see in one candle, in one candle, let me see, maybe not during the weekend. Here could be a good example. Yeah, we had a max of 119 millions of delta buy, but we have less 500k of delta min. Okay, so this is a cool reversal pattern, could be, but at the end the candle closed with 60 million, so it's not a good sell zone, because as you can see then we will not get, we range for too much time, so I don't like this type of setup. But you understood. Okay, so spike between open interest and big difference between delta max and delta min. Or what we can see also, I use also the T size. I use a filter to look just for big orders. When I see big orders in Confluence, for example, look here, how many people were buying. Look here, 12 million, 4 million, 46 million, 32 millions, 213 million. A ton of people was buying. Okay, and if someone put a order of 32 millions, is someone that knows how to do that work. Okay, in fact, from here the price went straight away. Look here how intense was this zone. Now they're taking profits, clearly. Yeah, so I use this of 50 minutes, same for 5 minutes, depends on the volatility. If we have a high volatility, I switch to 5 minutes, but we are generally, I use 15. Then I use the range bar. Range bar is more complex tool. If you want a video, let me know. But basically, I use this chart to don't have the time variable on the chart. You know, generally the price is developing every 5 minutes. For example, we print a candle here. Every 500 pips we create a candle. Okay, so we don't have the time. In fact, here I have time, how much it needs to the price to create the candle. When we have a lot of 20 second, 30 second, there is a high volatility. When we start seeing 4 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, volatility is dead. Okay, but if you want a specific video, let me know. Then we have daily level. Here I just look for POC, for fair value gap, for market levels that I put here. As you can see, previous month value area high, value area low, POC, same on the weekly. I use this to look for the POC, to look for the volume. So as you can see, we have a really nice week here with high volume. Could be a reversal, could be, definitely. I'm still not 100% sure, but that's basically my Exochart workspace. That's it, yeah. TPO, footprint, and POC with the levels from daily, weekly, and the weekly. Generally, I use this one. I don't create another one weekly, and I switch to monthly once every 2-3 weeks. I look also on the monthly chart, but something that I don't do that often. Yeah, so I hope that this video was helpful to the guy that asked me and also to other one. If you want something else, some video more specific with maybe more practical example, let me know in the comment. Yeah, see you next video, guys.